Welcome to another explainer. So, if you're a student staring down graduation right now, or maybe a parent trying to help your kid figure out their future career, you know exactly what that anxiety feels like. Honestly, it feels like standing on the edge of this massive, rapidly changing cliff, especially when we're talking about high-tech industries. You constantly hear all these intimidating buzzwords, right? Chips, AI, foundries, and it can be completely overwhelming. Well, today we're going to break down some seriously fascinating source material from the 2026 Nanhua PSIG Windward project. This initiative tackles that exact career anxiety head-on. Okay, let's dive right into this and demystify what it actually takes to succeed in this semiconductor world. Right out of the gate, the source material hits us with this incredibly powerful quote. In the semiconductor world, geniuses dream. We make it real. I mean, really think about that for a second. We almost always assume you have to be the next Albert Einstein to even step foot in a major tech company. But the truth presented here relies on a completely different core identity. They call it the bridge. You see, you don't actually have to be the solitary genius dreaming up wild theoretical physics in a lab. The industry desperately needs the people who act as the bridge, the ones who take those wild concepts and actually figure out how to manufacture them into reality.
Section 1. The Semiconductor Bridge.
So are you feeling a bit confused about the future? Trust me, you are absolutely not alone. The materials directly ask that exact question, and let's be real, who isn't feeling a bit lost these days? It is so easy to just count yourself out before you even try. You start thinking, well, I'm not smart enough, or I don't have the exact right background. The Nanhua project actually validates those exact imposter syndrome worries. But then it immediately pivots. It sets up the massive, localized semiconductor boom as the ultimate solution to all this career anxiety. Basically, it's an open invitation to stop worrying and start preparing.
Section 2. Score Corridor Golden Opportunity.
Just think about the sheer scale of what's happening geographically right now. We're looking at the Southern Taiwan S-corridor, which the source describes as a national upward cyclone. And when you look at the flow of it, with the introduction of the new TSMC advanced packaging plant up in Chiayi, connecting straight down through the Southern Taiwan Science Park, all the way to Yawan and Kiaoko, it's just massive. The material makes a really compelling argument here. Enrolling right now allows for what they call localized cultivation. You're literally planting yourself right in the path of this massive economic cyclone at the exact perfect time. But okay, here is where we hit the absolute biggest roadblock in most people's minds. The big question: do you need absolute top-tier math and physics scores to even apply? The source material directly tackles this myth head-on, and their answer is a resounding no. They promise that raw test scores on a piece of paper just aren't the whole picture, and they definitely aren't the sole predictor of whether or not you'll make a great engineer.
Section 3. What is survival strength?
So if it's not about test scores, what is it about? Well, the linchpin of their entire philosophy is this concept called survival strength. Basically, it's your ability to quickly find patterns and solve problems when parameters suddenly deviate. Notice what it's absolutely not. It is not rote memorization. Think about it. If you just memorize textbook parameters, you are entirely useless the second a machine starts acting unpredictably. Real survival strength is all about real-time, on-the-fly engineering judgment. Just contrast a textbook learner with a true crisis solver. When the parameters on a multi-million-dollar machine suddenly fail, the company doesn't need someone who can just recite a manual to them. No way! They need someone who can jump in and stabilize the line. The explainer source makes this crystal clear. Possessing this specific, highly adaptable problem-solving capability is exactly why the semiconductor industry is willing to pay such massive salaries. You are literally being paid to handle the unknown.
Section 4. PSIG Advanced Curriculum.
Now, to become what they call a high-value strategic navigator, you utilize the flexible core of their PSIG framework. That stands for Process, Strategy, Innovation, and Global. What the materials really emphasize here is that this is not some rigid one-size-fits-all pipeline. Students can freely mix and match these 4 pillars to build their own strongest personal bridge. So if you're super technical, maybe you lean heavy into process and innovation. But if you're more of a big-picture thinker, then strategy and global are probably your path. This brings us to a crucial point. Graduation does not just mean getting locked inside a clean room wearing a bunny suit for the rest of your life. I mean, sure, that's an option if you want it, but the source goes out of its way to reassure students that this education opens up incredibly diverse paths. We are talking about critical roles in strategic layout, intellectual property management, handling AI computing demands, biomedical applications, and operations. It aligns perfectly with cutting-edge trends like chiplet heterogeneous integration, which, by the way, is basically just stacking different microchips together like Lego blocks to boost power. The horizon here is so much wider than most people realize.
Section 5, Real-World Decision Challenge.
So how do they teach this? Well, instead of giving you cold, boring written tests, expert coaches throw you directly into scenarios like this. Picture this. You're on the factory floor. Sirens are suddenly going off. You get a massive yield drop alert because of a machine pressure fluctuation. What do? Do you choose option A, adjust the process parameters on the fly, and just hope it stabilizes? Or do you go with option B, halt production entirely to investigate, which could potentially cost the company millions in downtime? It's a thrilling, real-world production line crisis. What decision would you make on the spot? If you attend the interactive seminars, you actually face 20 of these exact high-stakes scenarios. It's an interactive, highly intuitive assessment. And what's super cool is that it allows their expert industry coaches to precisely pinpoint your career potential and your current survival strength based entirely on how you react under simulated pressure. It's like a flight simulator, but for your tech career.
Section 6, Bravely Set Fail. Ultimately, this all builds to a much bigger vision. It's about taking your localized cultivation and launching it straight onto the worldwide stage. The program actually features exclusive overseas quotas and international expansion scholarships. So the goal isn't just to get you a decent job down the street. It's intentionally designed to put you on the global supply chain stage, fully equipped to compete and succeed literally anywhere in the world. As we wrap up this explainer, the source material delivers this incredibly heartfelt message directly to high school students and their parents. It says, we don't just look at scores, we value your determination to walk this path. And honestly, that is a powerful reminder. Yes, grades matter, but sheer determination, true grit, and the willingness to learn how to solve real problems, those are the ultimate metrics for success in this field. They are actively looking for the right mindset, not just the perfect transcript.
So, we end with a pretty big question. Are you ready to discover your true potential and turn your dreams into reality? The source leaves us with a really strong call to action, urging students and parents to reserve their spots for the physical interactive seminars running from February 25th to April 25th. It's your chance to experience that PSIG survival strength diagnostic firsthand. So I'll leave you with this provocative thought to chew on. Are you really going to let a fear of complex math keep you out of the most critical, fast-paced industry of the 21st century? Or are you ready to build your bridge and prove your survival strength? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.